Welcome to the crowning glory of Spalding, the old church of St Mary and St Nicholas. Now, in my research, I have seen Nicholas spelt with an H and without an H, but for this film, I'm going to title it without an H. The most remarkable fact about this church is that it is virtually square, being as wide as it is long. And therein lies some confusion because you see, inside there are two north aisles and two south aisles adjoining the nave. So you have, in essence, 5 ways of walking forward from the west end to the east end. The church dates from 1284 and at first was a cruciform church, i.e. made in the form of a cross. A lovely feature of the exterior is this north porch with its roof of charming fan tracery supporting an upper room reached by a winding stair. In this doorway hangs a fine old door and delicate tracery, and above, in 3 canopied niches, statues of St Mary, our Lord in a seated position crowned, and St Nicholas with a ship and staff. Built as a parish church by the Priory under William de Littleport in 1284, the site was that of the Norman cemetery chapel of St Thomas a Becket. The spire, buttresses and pinnacles are all heavily crocketed. The elegant pinnacles from which flying buttresses spring to a spire were probably added in the 1400s. As you can see, the tower is detached from the nave, presumably for structural security. The south doorway here has a vaulted niche and an angel bracket above it. The ground stages of the tower are of the early English period, possibly 1284. The lofty nave was given its huge 7-light west window in the 15th century. The interior arcades of 1284 are 4 bays long. Along both sides of the nave you can see these hatchments to the Johnson family from the 19th century. This is a beautiful hammer beam roof adorned with 28 wooden angels and resting on stone heads and angels. The west doorway was built in 1688 when the tower was strengthened. It's difficult to keep one's bearings inside, although one ought to keep in mind that the building of the late 13th century was cruciform. All the rest is 14th and 15th century additions. Here's a fine old chest with a carved front. The total height here with the spire and tower is around 160 feet. It can feel like you're walking through a maze. It's a matter of conjecture, but it's thought the tower must have been linked up to the church in the early 14th century when the west wall was altered. The Big South Chapel here, dedicated more than 6 centuries ago to St Mary and Thomas Becket, was used for a time as a school until it withdrew from being a school in 1874. What a beautiful chandelier, brass of 3 tiers and made in 1760. The pulpit was made in 1875, comprising of 15th century fragments. The chancel roof here, repainted in the 1950s, looks rather like a funfair, but cheers up the dark interior. Thank you for watching this short film of the Church of St Mary and St Nicholas in Spalding, Lincolnshire.